Okay, I'm now joined by a passenger from Indonesia. If I can get your name right, it's
Zulcinda.
Zulcinda. Is this your first time on an A380?
Yeah, this is the first time. I am surprised also. This is a special day. I can ride this.
What are you looking forward to? You must have heard about the aircraft. You must have seen pictures of the A380 aircraft. What are you expecting?
I am expecting is comfortable, then luxurious, and everything you can make a bigger or something else. This is the good experience for me.
Right. So you're excited.
Correct. Exactly.
Right. So certainly a lot of people excited. Let's also cut out to the visuals that we have outside. Remember, we've got a number of cameras along the runway, also on the tarmac to get the aircraft approaching. As the aircraft comes in, there'll be a water cannon salute, which will get those visuals for you. And also on the tarmac, a number of people there, the airport officials, the ground handling staff, all prepared to receive the A380. This is the first time that a commercial flight operation of this size, as far as the A380 is being done in India. So, of course, there will be certain challenges, and Delhi Airport doing its best on the ground, keeping all the officials out. We'll be looking out for the aircraft. We've got 2 cameras on the runway, which will be relaying live pictures of the A380 as it approaches. As it approaches into Delhi International Airport. We'll be following that aircraft right through till the gate, where there'll be a water cannon salute for the aircraft coming in. This is ceremonial. Any new flight coming into airport, any new operations start, the water cannon is a customary salute given to that aircraft coming in. And there is trivia, of course, that when the Concorde flew for the last time, when the water cannon salute was given, the airport saw that the same ATC official who had given the clearance for the first Concorde to land into LA was there when that aircraft took off for that final journey. Okay, we are waiting for the A380 to arrive. The A380 aircraft coming into Delhi, not for the first time. We've had 2 A380 operations earlier. One A380 was, it came, that was the first proving flight. That was the first time that the A380 landed at Delhi Airport. There to show that Delhi Airport was capable of handling an A380. So that was the time the first proving flight came into Delhi Airport. the pilot, the test pilot for Airbus, who flew that aircraft, did a stunning show of that aircraft by landing and using the shortest runway possible. That was the first proving flight. Then after that, it was followed by a flight by Emirates. Of course, it was only one flight that Emirates operated. That was also a proving flight. Emirates wanted to show the A380 off, so they came into Delhi. Why is this flight important? Remember, this is the first commercial flight to be operated out of India. So Singapore Airlines being the first airline operating this A380 flight out of Delhi. The government had cleared the flight in January for A3 operations to take place out of 4 airports in India. Right now, what Singapore Airlines is going to do is operate from 2 cities, Mumbai and Delhi. There'll be daily flights each from run and operated. So if you compare it to any of the bigger aircraft flying in the air right now, you can almost double the kind of crew that is required to fly this aircraft. So the Singapore Airlines crew who are going to operate this flight out of Delhi, they are here ready to take over. They'll be getting into the aircraft as soon as all the passengers who are coming from Singapore are out. They'll be making all the preparations right now. So it's a photo op of sorts for the crew who are going to fly out and take this A380 out. is going to take off later. So there's a presence of a lot of people here who just want to see the Super Jumbo. You know, the A380 has always been an enigma. It has been of interest to a lot of people, simply because it is one of the largest aircraft in India. It's quite a sight to see. It is different. It is different in terms of the way it is built and the sheer size. It's mammoth. That's the reason why it's lovingly called the Super Jumbo. So the aircraft has come in. People are rushing in. People are rushing in with their smartphones and cameras and taking pictures of the aircraft from where I'm standing. That's the departure gate 15. This is the departure gate that is going to be used for people who are going to be flying out. Interesting to note, a lot of families here have bought tickets to fly onwards to Singapore simply because they want to experience the A380. A380 services with Singapore Airlines was there earlier, but it flew from Singapore towards Australia or the longer routes. And that's been the idea behind A380. For a large aircraft of this size to operate into hubs and from there on fly on a smaller aircraft, to a shorter destination. Contrary to Boeing believed that their aircraft would be utilized for point-to-point flights. So this Super Jumbo, of course, changing the equations, saying that we want to fly passengers to hub, and that is what is going to happen with this particular aircraft. They're going to take about 471 passengers on this aircraft. They're going to fly them into Singapore, which is their hub. And from Singapore onwards, the passengers will either, some of them who are traveling to Singapore will stay back in Singapore, but many of them, of course, will be taken connecting flights onwards from Singapore. From Singapore as the hub, it will give them options because the range of the A380 is about 15,000 kilometers. Okay, so the aircraft has landed right now. That's what we are told. The aero bridges are in place and the passengers will disembark. A date as far as aviation history in India is concerned, because this is the first commercial flight to operate in and out of India as far as the Super Jumbo A380 is concerned. So the flight has come in. Passengers will disembark here, and a number of activities lined up for those who are flying out. Most of the passengers that we've spoken out, out of them, some just want to experience the A380. That's the reason why they've bought their tickets to fly to Singapore. A lot of excitement, of course, because of the interest that the aircraft has generated. Just by the sheer size of the aircraft. If all seat configurations of the aircraft that you're seeing in front of you are removed, then it can carry over 800 passengers, and as you can see, the operations are continuing. The aero bridge being put. I guess the Delhi airport will take all precautions to see that this operation goes without a hitch. Ground staff present in large numbers there because it's the first time that the A380 has landed and started a commercial operation. A proving flight is different because we don't have the kind of passengers that we have on this flight. Non-commercial flight is also different, but this is a challenge. This is a test flight. From here on, Delhi airport staff, the ground staff who are operating this aircraft will have to do it again and again and again. Also, the number of crew operating this aircraft larger than any big aircraft of that configuration that we have today. We'll have 2-3 sets of pilots depending on the distance the aircraft will fly. With a range of about 15,000 1,000 kilometers. This aircraft can certainly go a distance.
लेफ्ट वाला मैं बताऊं, एक तो जो उस साइड पे कैमरा है उसको बहुत अच्छा शॉट मिला होगा, हो सकता है कि बॉर्डर आ रहा है, वो वही शॉट होगा एक और अभी जो इस टाइम है ना वो उधर देख सकते हैं वहाँ लोग जो बैठे हुए हैं ना। अब इस टाइम में इस टाइम में तो दोनों क्लोज देख सकते हैं क्योंकि उसमें अंदर तो लाइट है। हाइट तो थी, यहाँ पे आने के बाद पता चला कि हाइट तो थी।
So Singapore ground support is all here. They're all stationed here. Each one is so excited to see the first glance of the A380. Like I told you earlier also, the entire staff is here to welcome the guests who will be coming out of A380. There is a traditional puja thali here. There are mementos that are placed. Every face has a smile. Every hand has a mobile phone to capture the first glimpse of the A380. Now even I am actually turning back, pointing again to actually get the first look of the aircraft.
Okay, so the aero bridge is in place. The passengers will disembark any minute. This, of course, as I told you earlier, certainly a date with history as far as aviation is concerned. This will be the first flight by an A380, a commercial flight by an airline using the A380 here in India. As far as the challenges are concerned for the airport, there were a number of challenges. It is only in January that the government gave the regulatory clearance for A380 flights into India. Since then, of course, Singapore Airlines was the first airline which said that they are going to operate A380. The market as far as Singapore Airlines seems to be there because they've decided to put in about 14 flights from India to Singapore, 7 flights from Delhi and 7 flights from Mumbai. The passengers are coming out. We'll go across to Reena Bhardwaj for more.
So the aero bridge is of course connected to A380 and the passengers are trickling out of the aircraft. Each passenger that's coming out is actually surprised to see so many people there to usher them, and cameras are placed here. There are photographs that are being taken. They are a little amused about what's really happening, but of course they all know that history is being created in the aviation industry of India because the A380 is finally here in India. Can we interact? Yeah. So here you can see that the passengers are out. They're all very amused. can we just interact like briefly with you? So this was a long flight for you?
No, not really.
Okay, and what was the experience of being at the A380 for the first time that enters India? I'm sure you must have traveled before.
It felt special.
All right.
It felt very special.
Okay,
Thank
you so much. Ma'am, this was your flight from Singapore to Delhi. What was the experience like? It was an A380 for the first time that enters India, and you guys are part of history. What is the moment like?
Oh, great. I never knew it would be so great. It was fantastic. It was a good flight. Ask him.
So, I mean, for you, it's about aerodynamics, it's about fancy airplanes. What was the experience like? Did you know that you were flying the A380?
It so happened that it was an A380 and I was happy because it will be my first time flying in an A380 business class. That's why I was very excited for the trip.
So can you see the excitement here because it's coming for the first time to India? You have the entire staff here, you have cameras. Are you intimidated by any chance?
Yeah, actually, I didn't know. We just booked our flight. We thought we were coming for a holiday, but this is excellent. First time we are being welcomed so warmly in India.
So that's how we are. We Indians love to greet people and we have a warm hospitality. Welcome to India, welcome to Delhi, and congratulations. So there you have it. We have the traditional tika and tilak that has been put on on the forehead of every passenger who's coming in here. Ma'am, what was the experience like? I mean, here you come in and there's so much of a buzz at the airport. Very nice. Was your flight comfortable now?
Very comfortable, thank you.
What did you like the most about the Airbus?
Lot of space.
And what did you like? Did you get a lot of goodies? What did you get? Did you get to eat a lot of food? Okay, what was the best? Did you get ice cream there? Okay, did you know what you flew today? In what aircraft did you come?
You've been the aeroplane.
Yeah, have you sat in a double-decker aeroplane before? No. Okay, so would you like to say something about the airplane? Okay. So there she has it. She's a girl of few words, but of course her expression says it all that she has had a great time at the aircraft. Welcome to India. This is your first visit here.
It is indeed, yes.
So, are you a tourist here?
I am.
Okay. So, what was the experience like? This is the A380. First time it comes to India. There's so much of a buzz. There are people, there are cameras. There's like so much of excitement.
Bit of a surprise, but very nice. Very smooth flight. Excellent service. So very happy. Very happy to be here.
Thank you so much for talking to us. So there you have it, whether it's the Indians who are coming back to the city or whether they're tourists, they're all saying that it was a great flight, it was a comfortable flight. Every face has a smile, everyone's got a surprised look at what is happening here. Very few of them really know that, okay, fine, this is the welcoming of the A380. Ma'am, what was your experience like in the A380?
It was fantastic.
Is this your first time in an A380?
No, it isn't, but it was good service.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you like the most about it? Was it the space, the comfort, the service?
It was the space and the comfort was great, and obviously Singapore Airlines always has good service. So.
Okay. And what about the excitement here? Can you see the number of people here, the cameras, and the kind of welcoming that you guys are getting here?
I've never experienced this at a welcoming party like this.
So everyone feels like a film star here, yeah?
Yeah.
So you're no less than a film star or Shah Rukh Khan or a Madhuri Dixit, yeah?
Yeah, we're not quite there yet, but yeah, we can certainly get there.
So you should enjoy your moment. I'm sure you should.
We will.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
Was all right. I mean, the seat pitch was all right. I flew from Sydney to Singapore on a Qantas aircraft. This is 5 years back, so was all right. Better than the usual wide bodies, of course.
Right. Talking about the technical specs of the aircraft, we see a large number of crew. It does take a lot of people to operate an aircraft like this.
Exactly. A more set of crew is required.
But on this shorter route, we don't need so much of crew. But if it's an ultra long haul flight, we need a multiple set of crew to operate this aircraft.
Right. So, as far as the A380 is concerned, you do need a lot of crew. There certainly are a lot of challenges, but it's happening here in India. The first commercial flight of the A380, certainly a sign of the times to come. Airlines like Singapore are looking at the potential. They see great potential in the Indian aviation market. Perhaps that's the reason why they have launched these. They've launched this operation here from India, looking at the kind of population that we have and the kind of market that India has. So what they'll be looking to do is fly in passengers from India to Singapore, and from there onwards they'd like to connect them onwards from Singapore to other destinations. The range of the aircraft is certainly there. It can fly non-stop from Dubai to Los Angeles airport. The range of this aircraft is about, the maximum range I'm talking about is over 15,000 kilometers. So certainly the range is there, and it can operate from India if Singapore wants onwards to the Americas also.
Those from Singapore Airlines and SATS Air India. And then we want to job and we will make sure that we fly to this one. You have our wish you a very good stay here in Delhi. All the best. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Thank you very much.
Now I'm joined by the Chief Operating Officer of the Delhi International Airport. Interesting day for you. I mean, I've been speaking of this as a date in history for aviation in India because we are seeing the first Airbus A380 operating from India, and this is the commercial flight. We've seen two Airbus A380 operations out of Delhi, but this, of course, is a commercial flight. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, I feel relieved. First of all, hello to all of you at the venue. I'm very glad to briefly speak to you. Yes, we are all relieved. On the other side, we were very well prepared. We went several times through all the checklist. So far, everything went well. And yes, as you said, I think today is history in aviation for India. First scheduled Airbus 380. I think it's a great day. Now we want to see that the aircraft leaves on time. But so far, everything is fine.
Right. As far as preparations are concerned, I can see everything is in place. A lot of effort is being put. But what does it take for an aircraft of the size of an A380 when it lands at an airport? What does it take from the airport operator's side?
So, of course, on the one side, we need to have the right infrastructure. That means the runway that can take the weight of the aircraft. Then we have to have the right taxiways because we have a big wingspan of this aircraft, 78 meters. So basically, of course, we follow all the rules and regulations given by ICAO, which is then certified that we, from an infrastructure point of view, can handle the aircraft. And then the next step would be all those people who work around the aircraft when the aircraft comes in, that we can align the aero bridges. You know, it's first time that we would use an upper bridge, so we would use 3 bridges for the passengers. Then the fueling, air conditioning, high loaders, catering. So everybody around the aircraft, that they all know exactly what needs to be done, what is special for this aircraft.
And I'm glad we covered it all because we had a camera stationed outside which got knocked out because of the storm, but we got it back in and we could get those shots. As far as the runway is concerned, this is the longest runway in Asia and one of the longest runways in the world. So runway, there was no problem. But if you look at the preparations, the fire services, I'm told, has to be top-notch. It has to be the best in the world for an A380 operation. And why is that?
So, of course, the characteristic of the aircraft, firefighting in the end would be the same. But, of course, the characteristic that it's a double-decker. And, of course, in firefighting, the main thing is to get, if ever a fire would be on the aircraft, to get the fire under control and to get the passengers all out. So that means how do we get the passengers out from the upper deck, lower deck? So we sent actually some of our fighter fighters to Dubai to be trained on the characteristic of the 380. But overall, of course, whether we would have an emergency on this aircraft or any other, it's sort of the same operation.
Right from the start, if you look at the airport itself, you did not have to make any modifications as far as the infrastructure is concerned.
That's
because the aircraft was built to cater to aircrafts of this size. How is it different from handling a 747 and an A380?
Of course, I guess, now once we get used, after we had 5-10 aircraft for us, for everybody, it will be then same routine work. Of course, what we want to do is that we are very professional, that we have a very safe operation. Everybody knows exactly what needs to be done in what sequence.
Right.
And of course, I would also like to pay a compliment to the team from Singapore Airlines and from SATS Air India. That's the ground handler, that's the Singapore ground handling arm that works here, that does most of the job around the aircraft. We have a very excellent cooperation. They have an excellent team. And so far, it all worked well, the cooperation. This, in the end, is a joint collaboration. This is very important that all the stakeholders who work know their job, work together as a team. And so far, I'm very happy. It worked well.
A slight technical question.
Yep.
When an aircraft of this size with 4 engines flies, you need the separation between 2 aircraft. Will this cause delays at the airport? Because, the aircraft coming second, if it's a smaller one, because of the wake that this aircraft creates, will have to fly, quite a reasonable distance behind, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So this is a very good question. we are the first airport in Asia to have implemented the so-called collaborative decision making. So let's say if we take this aircraft now, the ground handler and Singapore Airlines had to tell us exactly the time they are ready for pushback. This information goes to the tower. The tower now knows what is the demand on this runway, let's say runway 11, right. Which aircrafts are all coming in. And then exactly what you said, the air traffic controller will plan the best possible sequence. So we would do a pre-departure sequencing. And you are right, such a big aircraft would create wake turbulence. That means if we would have a very small aircraft, we would have to have a bigger separation. So what the air traffic controller tries, that he has the right aircraft sequence for departure from a point of view of wake turbulence. If both would fly in the same direction, let's say both to Mumbai, this is also not so good, would need a little bit more separation. Right. So we would exactly calculate. And as a result, we should have a higher on-time performance and we should have a bigger throughput on the runway. Of course, the runway is for us the most important element, and the bigger, the higher the throughput, the better, the more aircraft we can welcome at our airport.
Another technical question, slightly difficult one. How much time did you estimate for you to get the aircraft empty, and were you able to meet that target?
Okay, to be very honest, every aircraft, we know exactly what is the best time. Yeah. So, as you said, to get the passengers out, to get the baggage out, to get the cargo out, to get the catering out, to clean the aircraft, then to load the baggage, load the cargo, load the catering, and now we will start boarding. Yeah. So you will see. So far, now we have half an hour left to push back. So we want to actually push back now exactly 10 past 10.
Did you meet the time you set?
Now, to be very honest, on the 340, we did not yet set the time. We set only the overall time that we can leave on time. Okay. But this will be important in the future, that everybody knows my timeline is so much to do this job. Today, to align the bridge, we wanted to be very careful. There is no point in rushing anything.
Yeah, I saw that.
So you saw, you line the first bridge, then the upper deck, then the third bridge. We will do the same now, the sequence that we will remove first the upper bridge, second bridge, and then the last one. So it was better to do it all in a very careful way today.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that you're being very, very careful. So from here on, now the boarding has started. If you look at the overall experience as far as the A380 is concerned, and if you compare to any large wide-body aircraft, any difference, any challenge? I know you want to be absolutely certain. This is the first flight. You want to be sure. But what lessons do you carry from here on?
Of course, we will sit together with the teams. We will sit together with Singapore Airlines, with all the stakeholders, especially with SATS Air India also, and we will see how did it go well. Then we need to train more people, that everybody gets familiar with this aircraft, especially the alignment of the bridges. Of course, check-in, let's say all in the terminal, this is more or less the same. That's perfectly fine. Even the boarding will have a certain sequence. What is the best sequence for boarding? The upper deck, the lower deck, first business class, economy. This will be a learning, but this is also one of our mottos. We are here to continuously improve the service standards and to give a great experience to the passengers that go through our airport.
With the kind of experience you have, I'll ask you a funny question. Even they're giving out little mementos. Even that takes some time when you're calculating the time into an aircraft.
Yeah, absolutely. And to check the stamps on the boarding card and on the baggage tags, that also takes a bit of time.
So you calculate everything. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
It was
a
been
pleasure.
An interesting,
best wishes to everybody. Congratulations at the venue. Thank you very much.
We'll say that again once we get the camera around. 1 minute's up. So, yeah. You wanted to wish them?
So, I would like to wish all the guests of Singapore Airlines at the venue all the very best. Enjoy the evening. Best regards from here, from the airport. We are reporting from the gate. Boarding is going on. And as maybe you heard before, we want the aircraft to leave on time. So back to you. All the very best, and have a very good evening. Thank you.
I'll let you go. All
Thank
the
you
best
very
with the
much.
boarding.
Thank you very
Wonderful talking to you.
Pleasure.
Okay, so right now, right here, gate 15 is where we are. The boarding has started. As I said earlier, there are a number of people we've spoken to who are flying to Singapore just to get an experience on the A380, because that is the kind of pull that the aircraft has. The kind of press that the aircraft has received because of its size, because of the enormity of the A380, people want to fly it the first time. As far as the aircraft interiors are concerned, it is one of the most silent aircrafts in the world, even with the 4 engines. The first flight that I took on the A380, when the aircraft was taking off, I did a piece to camera, and people could hear me very, very distinctly. So that's the difference. If I could just get in Reena for a bit to comment on the kind of people she's been meeting. Reena, a lot of people, coming in, first-time flyers on the A380. Those who came out of the aircraft, you spoke to them. What did they talk about?
They were like kind of surprised because there were like cameras placed out there. There was the ground staff. There was a whole fleet of ground staff who was right there, ushering the guests, and they were taken by surprise that we are a part of history, and I think this is something which is they've never ever experienced something like that. No one has ever welcomed that. They felt like a star almost. Some of them even told me that I feel like a film star. There are cameras everywhere. There are people who are ushering us in. So it was a great excitement out there for them.
Right. Stay here. We just moved the cameras to show the boarding has started. The flyers are ready to fly off to Singapore on the A380. Is this your first flight on the A380?
Right. This is my first flight.
And what are you expecting?
I'm expecting a lot because as can I see the promos and the promotion they are doing.
Right. So you're excited?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Is this your first flight too on the A380?
Yes, my first flight, and I'm very excited about it.
You've read a lot about the aircraft?
Yes, very much on magazines and newspapers.
Okay. Hope you have a great flight.
Thanks.
Okay, while the boarding is on, let's also cut across to the images from outside and see what's happening. The aircraft, of course, preparations for the onward journey has been completed. So the aircraft is almost ready to fly. This is the last phase, I guess, of getting the passengers in. The cargo is being loaded right now. As far as the flight catering is concerned, all those things go in first. So passengers, the flight crews in. It does take a considerable amount of people to run this aircraft. It's certainly a challenge. We were speaking to the Chief Operating Officer of the Delhi International Airport. Of course, he was talking about his experience. So there is the Super Jumbo parked right outside gate 15 for you, ready to depart. Infrastructure, not a problem as far as Delhi Airport is concerned. We'll speak to a few more people if I can. Is this your first flight on the A380?
Apparently this is my 7th time I've flown with Emirates A380 a couple of times. This is the first time I'm flying with Singapore A380 from Delhi, so I'm lucky to be part of the inaugural flight.
Yeah, it's always exciting to be part of the inaugural flight, isn't it? What are you expecting?
Fingers crossed, let's hope it's a good one. So fingers crossed. I'm flying to Singapore and then Singapore to Melbourne.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Thank you.
So there you can see it. Passengers certainly excited. There will be flying off anytime soon. The boarding has started.
Arindam? इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट पर, दिल्ली के इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट आ गया महाजंबो दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा यात्री विमान सिंगापुर एयरलाइंस का A380 फाइनली इंडिया पहुंचा दिल्ली के इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट टर्मिनल 3 पर। Huh? Why is someone calling? Is there somebody? Is there somebody called Reena over there?
In staff?
Yeah.
Sites?
Yeah. Every time someone says Reena, and I'm like, yeah. I think there is another Reena. Can we take one this thing picture? But I want my mic. Where's Karma? I want a picture with him. Where's Karma? I want you also in the picture. Come now. Take it on this phone.
अरे इसमें क्या लग गया ये? इसकी ज्वेलरी इसकी?
हाँ. Levels. Hang on. आ रहा है. Reporting from.
करवा रहा है
down to 40 seconds. And start waving when it's 40 seconds.
I'll count 1 to 5.
Last 5 seconds में say ना कि now wind up.
Go.
Arindam is ready to record? Arindam को पूछना, is Arindam ready to record? Arindam ready to record?
Arindam, are you recording Karma's P2C? P2C Victor sir.
Okay, roll.
Rolling, be conscious.
So the boarding for the world's largest aircraft, the Super Jumbo A380 of the Singapore Airlines, is over. As you can see from the applause that just went around with the ground handling crew. So the boarding is over. The good news is that there'll be one A380 service from New Delhi every day starting today, which means 14 flights in total, because Mumbai will also be operating its share of the A380 flights. The idea is simple. Singapore Airlines wants to take as many passengers from India as possible because they've got 471 seats in each A380 aircraft. They'll fly these passengers to Singapore. From there on, they can go anywhere. Remember, the A380 has a range of over 15,000 kilometers, which means sky is the limit. Speed कर दिया ना?
Done.
Speed क्या? Mail किया था?
उनके मेल आया था.
मेरे को भी मेल आया था ना?
दुनिया का महाजंबो.
मैं कैमरा ऑफ करूं? हाँ? बाद हो रहेगा।
बहुत लंबा रनवे चाहिए स्पीड पकड़ के उठने के लिए।
ये कुछ गैप है।
हो गया भैया, उड़ गया वो इतनी देर में तो। हाँ जाकर उड़ गया वो। क्या था वो लाइट
अब नहीं सुनेंगे, अब नहीं सुनेंगे, अब गाना आ गया उनके बाद।